Breaking right now, two knives in the hearts of Harry and Meghan over the weekend. First, the Beckhams reunite with King Charles and Queen Camilla, bringing the showbiz glamour.
Drama, betrayal and royal revenge. It's all going down in the UK. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are reportedly furious after seeing their former close friends David and Victoria Beckham publicly cozying up to none other than King Charles and Queen Camilla. This is more than just a PR move. It's a strategic power play that could reshape the public perception of Britain's most famous couples.
To the royal family, which the Sussexes thought they had stolen from the UK. Then Donald Trump confirms what we all know: Harry and Meghan's marriage is in big trouble, but some might say it's relief that he has ruled out deporting Harry because he's got enough problems with his wife. Brittany, well, what did you make of Donald Trump's line?
Oh man, I thought it was hysterical because he was basically saying it's punishment enough for Harry to actually still be married to Meghan, is what he essentially said. And
Horrible,
it's
he
just,
said. She's horrible.
oh, it's horrible. And I mean, we've heard from the Hollywood
terrible.
Reporter
Sorry,
that
I
she's
think he said
terrible.
terrible.
Terrible. The Hollywood Reporter said the same thing. She's terrible. So, I mean, there's just a general consensus that those who have interacted with Meghan Markle just generally think she's terrible, and so does the President of the United States. Although it is funny that some people have pointed out that, yes, he might not individually deport Harry, but if Harry did lie, let's say, on his visa, and he did not admit to his drug use, he could be deported. It wasn't Donald Trump's decision. It was the decision of following the law in that particular instance, and that's the reason why Harry might get the boot. We don't know for sure yet. There's still processes going on and everything, but it'll be fascinating to see if Harry sort of lied when he didn't really need to. That would be I would be very interested in that, especially what visa status he's on here, because they act like they're Royals of America. And so I really feel like a strong word needs to be spoken at some point going, no, you're not that. You don't need a diplomatic visa if that's what he has, or a diplomatic passport, because he is no longer representing the British royal family. That gravy train has sort of ended. That was his choice. He needs to now live as a private citizen. We have royals who live in the United States, but they are not royals of the United States. Very, very big difference there. But Harry and Meghan don't seem to grasp that quite yet.
Let's break down what really happened, why this is a huge blow to the Sussexes, and what it means for the future of their influence. Over the weekend, the Beckhams made headlines by attending a royal event hosted by King Charles and Queen Camilla, and not just as guests. They were seen laughing, bonding, and presenting the kind of glamour Harry and Meghan once claimed as their own.
Yeah, and Brittany, I revealed on my Substack over the weekend that the real reason that Trump has decided not to deport Prince Harry is nothing to do with how he feels about the Duke, nothing to do with how he feels about Meghan, but is all to do with the huge respect that he has for the royal family, specifically King Charles and Prince William. He has, of course, seen Prince William since becoming president at the Notre Dame Cathedral reopening, and he prizes the communication that he had with King Charles, specifically after his assassination attempt. And we know how he felt about Queen Elizabeth II. And so for him, the idea of causing trouble for the royal family, making the ties between them even more stressful, is just not something that he wants to do. However, you are completely right to point out that that doesn't mean this is over, because Niall Gardner and the Heritage Foundation continue their mission. And as Vanity Fair reported over the weekend, the Heritage Foundation could be using Prince Harry to test immigration status privacy. And Niall Gardner, even though he has huge respect for Donald Trump and he completely understands why Trump has said what he said, he's not going quietly, Brittany. So this isn't over yet.
It's definitely not. And again, I think, Dan, as an American citizen, we have the right to know why Harry is here, like what visa status he has, because that determines, let's say, if he has a diplomatic visa, he cannot be charged with certain things. And since he is essentially acting as a private citizen, like that needs to be changed. He's not representing anything greater. And I think this is definitely also maybe you could say a bit of a test for Donald Trump as well, because he says he won't deport Harry, but if he is sticking to his own promised policies, technically Harry would be caught up in one of the things where they're looking at people who have come into this country. Have they lied? Have they committed crimes? Those sorts of things. And they're going with the worst of the worst first, but they'll start slowly moving into other spheres. And to stand by his own policy, Donald Trump would technically have to go through, even though he has the utmost respect for the royal family. There are laws in this country, and if Harry didn't abide by immigration law in that particular instance, then that's something that deserves to be discussed and be known, and Harry to be subjected to the same laws as everybody else here. So it'll be fascinating to see where this goes, but this is definitely not over for Harry, and he should be shaking in his boots a little bit, I think.
Victoria was even spotted giving Queen Camilla a respectful and elegant curtsy, something Meghan has noticeably shied away from. This wasn't just a casual appearance, it was a statement. The Beckhams are now aligning themselves with the crown, and that's got serious implications. So why did King Charles embrace the Beckhams now? It's no coincidence. The royal family knows exactly what they're doing.
And Trump is also a man who sometimes changes his mind. What I found particularly fascinating about this weekend, though, Brittany, is that just at a time when Harry and Meghan are wanting to prove that showbiz glamour is their domain at the Invictus Games, indeed, the most exciting and sexy and interesting royal footage came from this unique bond building between King Charles and Queen Camilla and Victoria Beckham and David Beckham, who attended their event. I mean, not only did the Beckhams look incredible, the personal connection with Charles and Camilla was on display for the world to see. And what I find so fascinating about this relationship, Brittany, is that we know that Meghan and Harry are utterly furious about it, because the Beckhams are almost filling the void that Harry and Meghan left. And they're totally pro-monarchy. They're bringing the glamour, they're bringing the celebrity, they're bringing the style, and they're not bringing the baggage.
Well, absolutely, because every celebrity knows there is nothing greater than royalty. Harry and Meghan making that step back and putting themselves into the realm of celebrity was maybe one of the dumbest decisions they ever made, because even celebrities have a great respect for royalty because it's something that they can't attain by simply being talented or anything like that. You either marry into royalty or you're born into it. Those are the only two ways. And so I think the Beckhams, there was this great video of Victoria doing this very lovely curtsy to, I believe, Queen Camilla, and it's something where there was so much glamour there. Stanley Tucci was there with his wife. You have Donatella Versace, and so many people were at this event because royals attract people because they want the mystique and the majesty of royalty. There is nothing like that. Celebrities might go to some of the best parties, but they would drop everything if a royal said, "Hey, come over to our party," and they'd be like, "Yes, yes, please." And so I think the Beckhams know that obviously the royal family is so much better to be attached to than Harry and Meghan, because it's a 1,000-year-old institution. It will continue to go on. Harry and Meghan are basically failing out of Hollywood due to a variety of issues, but it seems like talent is one of the key problems that they have there. So it's so obvious how Harry and Meghan made such a mistake, because all celebrities would choose royalty over hanging out with them any day of the week.
Without any doubt. And I would actually argue that this is a strategically beautiful move from the royal family. I've got my own issues with the Beckhams, Brittany. I've spoken about it on other shows. I won't do so here, because the one thing that I have respect for the Beckhams on is their respect for the monarchy. They've always had it. Do you remember David Beckham queued up to see the Queen, the late Queen Elizabeth II, lying in state, when you had other media morons like Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby despicably skipping the queue? So this is a very strategic move. But just trust me on this, Brittany. King Charles, Camilla, William, and Catherine know exactly what they're doing, because they are well aware that the Beckhams and Meghan and Harry had a very nasty fallout. And again, and I'm not one usually to take the side of the Beckhams, but in terms of their fallout, it was completely the fault of Meghan and Harry who came to this ridiculous decision that Victoria Beckham, who hates the media and who hates the tabloid press, had been leaking stories to them about Meghan. I mean, it was just so ludicrous. And it shows, Brittany, how actually they fail to maintain important relationships because it becomes all about them. And actually, what I found so funny about it too is it's like, Harry and Meghan, do you not realize that David and Victoria have more stories leaked on them than you have ever had? They just know how to deal with it.
By publicly embracing the Beckhams, celebrities with global influence and squeaky clean reputations, the palace is sending a message: we don't need the Sussexes, we have class, legacy and true loyalty on our side. The Beckhams, despite their fame, have always respected the monarchy. That loyalty is now being rewarded.
Yes, because you notice that people who are in the media eye for a long time, it's like the best thing to do most of the time is just to ignore the chatter. I mean, I think with the rise of social media, a more robust strategy is good, but it's like they know how to manage it. Harry and Meghan don't. And honestly, I have always been of the opinion, Dan, that Meghan Markle was the key leaker in the beginning of their relationship. Her and her friends, I think, would leak constant stories. And so probably Meghan was deflecting blame for her own leak to Victoria or David, I don't know, because Harry was like, well, where did this come from? She's like, oh, over here. You interacted with them a couple weeks ago and maybe we said something. I don't know. But when it was probably her is always been my personal opinion. So it's like David and Victoria, they know how to keep the ships tight. I mean, most celebrities do. Harry and Meghan, of course, leak a lot, or I think particularly Meghan does. And this is also why celebrities don't necessarily trust them, because celebrities want people to keep their confidences too. And Harry and Meghan, they just don't do it.
No, they absolutely don't. And look, what I find laughable is that Meghan Markle genuinely thought that Victoria Beckham needed to leverage off her for her fashion label. It's like, oh, come on, please don't be so ludicrous. Now, look, lots more happening this weekend, including, by the way, a bit of a bombshell from our friend Lady Colin Campbell. She'll be here on Outspoken later in the week, but Brittany, I wanted to take you through what she has revealed and get your reaction. So she posted, this was in the wake of Donald Trump making his announcement. She posted, I am hearing very interesting things about the state of the Sussex marriage, and it's from regal, not media sources. Things are a lot more convoluted than they appear to be on the surface. Now, she said, sadly, this forum doesn't offer enough space to address the complexities, but I think I will do so on my YouTube channel. But she adds, Donald Trump is right. Harry has more than enough problems on his hands. The majority of them begin with the letter M. M for Meghan, M for money, M for Machiavellianism, M for Murchine, M for mistake, M for malignancies, M for media, M for manipulation. I could go on and on, but this is neither the place or the time. In the meantime, I would recommend that everyone who wants a ringside seat on the combination of Greek tragedy and Shakespearean drama that is taking place in Canada, remember the words of the song, It Ain't Over Till the Fat Lady Sings. All the posturing at the Invictus Games, all the Ozempic in the world, all 16 bathrooms in Montecito won't be able to flush the reality of what is really going on once the turds surface. Harry might not seem the ideal candidate for sympathy over the last few years, but my goodness, he is deserving of pity. Wow, Brittany. Bomb drop from Lady C. What do you make of it?
This is more than just a tabloid feud. It's a royal reckoning. Meghan and Harry burned bridges they never expected to cross again. And now those bridges are being rebuilt without them. With their Hollywood star fading and former friends choosing the crown over California, the Sussexes are watching their influence crumble in real time.
Oh man, I mean, I'm not surprised. They have to be having problems. I mean, Netflix is probably out the door. We don't have confirmation of that, but they need her show to be a smashing success. If it's not, if she can't sell merch through it, I mean, she has her fans, but they're really small small group of people. Actually, even at the Invictus Games, I was watching somebody who was there, one of the reporters, and she was showing this video of Harry and Meghan being shown on screen as like, oh, they cheered. It was a very muted cheer, to be quite honest. It wasn't this roar from the crowd. It was just a little bit of a louder cheer there for them. So I think they have a very small, diminishing audience. They need massive infusions of cash to pay for their home, for their security, so many different things. I mean, I can't imagine that at some point they're not going to start having money problems because the residuals from Harry's book will run out at some point. The residuals from their other things will start to slow down. And so they just have mess after mess, and it's got to be stressful on them. And they have no relationship with family or anything. And so it's just this whole collapse and everything around it. And I can't imagine that sometimes Harry really thinks he made a mistake. You kind of see it on his face sometimes, and you go, why did I do this to myself? And I'm sure he loves his kids and everything, but it cannot be an easy relationship.
Well, of course not. One other thing that I think is really interesting from the weekend, Brittany, and you tweeted on this or posted on X about this, Harry is now seen as a celebrity, not a royal, by the public. And you write, being a celebrity is the kiss of death for him. Celebrities all know there is nothing more impressive than royalty, but at the same time, Harry's celebrity status is damaging the royal brand. Charles and William need to take that more seriously than they are. Now, I completely agree about the Charles and William point, by the way. I have been advocating for a very, very long time. His title should be stripped. The line of succession should be looked at, certainly for Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, when we don't even know the truth around their birth. But let's put that to one side for 1 second. Isn't this just fascinating that to the public now, Harry isn't a royal? So these brands would be very silly to be investing if they think they're getting some sort of connection to the royal family, because that's no longer how the public view Harry.
Let me know what you think in the comments. Did Meghan go too far by accusing Victoria Beckham? Is this the final sign that Harry and Meghan have lost their global appeal? And most importantly, is the royal family winning the PR war? Like this video, if you enjoyed the scoop, hit subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.